The morning was still and quiet, the sky blanketed with snow, the trees were dusted in white, and the landscape was a picture of winter beauty. The air was crisp and cold, and the sun shone brightly, reflecting off the snow-covered ground. Everything was peaceful and serene. A perfect start to the day. All that could be heard was the occasional chirp of a bird, or the sound of a rabbit scampering through the snow. It was a truly magical snowy morning. The elves' journey began early on a cold winter morning. They gathered their supplies and set out on the long road ahead. The snow-covered path was difficult to traverse, but the elves persevered, determined to reach their destination as they traveled. The snow slowly melted away, giving way to the lush green of the forests and meadows. The elves were filled with excitement and anticipation as they continued their journey, eager to reach their destination and begin their new adventure. The elves finally arrived in Winterland, and they were met with a warm welcome. The snow glittered in the morning sun, and the air was crisp and cold as they stepped out of their carriage. They were greeted with cheers and smiles from the locals. They were welcomed with open arms and were delighted to find that their journey had been worth it. They had finally reached their destination and were ready to explore the magical land of Winterland. The elves were welcomed with open arms in Winterland everywhere they went. They were met with smiles and cheer. The townspeople were delighted to have such a special group of visitors and went out of their way to make them feel at home. They were treated to a grand banquet, where they feasted on the most delicious food they had ever tasted afterward. They were given a tour of the town, where they were amazed by the beauty of the snow-covered landscape. It was a magical experience that they would never forget. The elves had been living in the forest for many years, but they had never seen anything quite like this. As they ventured deeper into the woods, they were met with a surprise. They could never have imagined a beautiful clearing, filled with lush green trees and vibrant wildflowers, had been hidden away from the rest of the world. The elves were mesmerized by the sight, and they couldn't help but feel a sense of wonder and awe. They knew that this place was special, and they were determined to explore it further. The elves decided to explore the forest and see what it had to offer. As they ventured deeper and deeper into the woods, they were amazed by the beauty of the trees and plants, the chirping of the birds, and the gentle rustling of the leaves. They were in awe of the vastness of the forest and the secrets it held. They soon realized that the forest was filled with many wonders to explore and discover. As they continued their journey, they felt a mysterious energy that seemed to be emanating from the forest itself. The elves were amazed as they ventured deeper into the forest. Everywhere they looked, they were surrounded by animals of all shapes and sizes. Some were small and timid, while others were loud and curious. The elves were delighted to meet the animals and learn about their unique personalities. They quickly made friends with the creatures, who seemed to know that the elves were special. The elves were filled with joy as they explored the forest and made new animal friends. As the elves explored the forest, they started to notice something strange. The trees and plants seemed to whisper secrets, and the air was filled with a mysterious energy The animals were also behaving in a way that was unlike anything the elves had ever seen before. As they ventured further, they soon realized that the forest was filled with magic, and that it was something that they could not explain. The elves were amazed and excited to discover this magical place, and they knew that they would be visiting it often. The elves had been living in Winterland for centuries, keeping their secrets hidden from the outside world. But when a young girl named Anna stumbled upon their village, she quickly realized that they were not like any other people she had ever met. The elves were mysterious and powerful, and their magic was unlike anything Anna had ever seen before. She was determined to uncover their secret. No matter the cost, little did she know that she was about to embark on the greatest adventure of her life. Winterland was a magical place, filled with wonders and surprises. Its snow-covered landscape was a sight to behold, and the air was filled with the sound of tinkling bells and the smell of freshly baked treats. The elves were the keepers of this special place, and they used their powerful magic to keep it safe and to create new wonders. They could create things out of thin air, and they could make the snow dance in the night sky. They were the true masters of Winterland, and their magic was a source of wonder and delight for all who visited. As the elves prepared to return home, they shared a few final words of wisdom with the villagers. They reminded them that the magic of Winterland was still alive in their hearts, and that they should never forget the beauty and joy it had brought them. The elves promised to always be there to help, even if they were far away. With a final wave, they vanished into the night, leaving the villagers with a feeling of hope and excitement for the future. The elves' farewell marked the end of their time in Winterland, but the magic of the season remained. The snowflakes still sparkled in the air, the trees still glittered with the lights of the elves, and the air still held the scent of sweet treats. The elves may have gone, but the spirit of Winterland was still alive in the hearts of the people who had experienced the joy of the season. The magic of Winterland lives on all, and its impact will never be forgotten.
If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update from us. We'll be bringing you more exciting stories and videos like this one. See you next time.